I, as well as many others, have patiently waited for this day, the day we finally have a good clamshell handheld. This is Anbernic's RG35XX SP, and it is what I believe to be Anbernic's single greatest handheld of all time. Let's talk about it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Javi, and today it is a holiday on Play Retro as we're taking a look at one of my favorite devices of all time. As many of you may already know, I grew up playing a Game Boy SP. I had a blue one. It was metallic blue. I remember it fondly. It was basically my introduction into the world of gaming. It's where I cultivated my love for gaming, and it holds a very, very special place in my heart. It's like Anbernic heard my cry, my desperation for a clamshell handheld, a good clamshell handheld. And here it is. We got the SP. The SP has been realized, my dream handheld. It is here. So today we're taking a first look at this device and everything it has to offer. We're going to talk about why the clamshell is king. We're going to talk about the size, the hinge, the controls, how it feels to play on the SP, how this thing performs, color options, and everything in between. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's just take a quick look at the front of this device. As you can see, I got the beautiful solid silver color here. And man, Anbernic did a great job at staying true to the original SP design. As you can see, almost everything is where you'd expect it to be. So originally on this side, we have the little power light. You have the same styling here. Instead of a switch, we have a power button, which is better, and we'll talk about this later. We do have a reset button here. On the bottom, where the cartridge used to be, is our storage slots, which houses our games. Inside our SP, we do have a Kioxia 64GB SD card. I did purchase this device straight off of Anbernic's website, so they are giving us Kioxia SD cards. I have heard good things about this. You guys let me know in the comments below what you think of these SD cards. I'm not too sure about them, but you guys let me know in the comment section below whether you're going to keep these or you're going to swap these out. But yeah, that is nice to see, not super generic SD cards in here. We also have a 3.5mm headphone jack, which was not present on the original SP. If you wanted to get headphone audio out of an original SP, you'd have to get an adapter, which was to like one of these IO ports on the back. We got our volume rocker on this side. Over on the back, we do have additional L2 and R2, which is very nice to see. So we'll be able to emulate some of the higher systems that you do use these buttons, like PlayStation, Dreamcast, and etc. So L1, L2, R2, look at that. The L2 and R2 are higher up as well, so it's just easier to differentiate between them, which is nice to see here. And they do have almost the exact same styling and feel as the SP. I just absolutely love what Anbernic has done here. Over on the top side, we do also have a mini HDMI port, just like you see on the Plus and the H. So you will be able to connect it to your TV or your monitor, and you will be able to consoleize your SP. So if you get tired of the small 3.5-inch screen, you can hook it up to whatever size screen you want and play it like that, which is so awesome. And of course, as per usual, we do have USB-C charging, which is always nice to see. Back here, we also have an accessible battery compartment, which is really nice to see, because we didn't get this on the H, we did get it on the Plus. This is as good as the Plus basically. And I want to give you a quick look at just how nice this silver really looks. As you can see, as the light shines on it, man, Anbernic did a really good job with the finish of this device. I want to talk about why the clamshell is such a great design. First of all, you don't need a case. You can see that all the important parts that could be potentially damaged, like your controls and your screen, are housed on the inside of the device, so they are protected when they are closed. So essentially, you don't really need a case. Obviously, these buttons on the exterior are going to be exposed, but I mean, for the most part, they're not going to be scuffed up like that. So yeah, a clamshell helps to protect the important parts of the handheld. Not only this, but it folds up into this little square that is extremely pocket friendly. So you could just throw this in your pocket, fits very nicely. So I do want to do a couple size comparisons just so you guys can see just how small the SP is. Let's start with the Plus. Side by side with the Plus, as you can see, it is still smaller than the Plus. Obviously a little bit thicker from the side, but it's not that much thicker. And look how much space you gain with the clamshell design. Look at that. And now the H. The H is almost the size of a modern smartphone, so it is very thin, but still, it's almost half the size of an H, as you can see right here. And now let's look at it opened up. So now when you're using it, let's see that, look at that size difference. Obviously this matters more for a vertical device, so we're gonna move the H over for a second. Have a look at the Plus. For anybody wondering, I did modify my Plus. That's why the buttons are not shiny. These are buttons from a 353M. So they're supposed to look like this. But just if anybody's wondering. But look at this. See that difference? Not only that, it's slightly wider, so it's even more comfortable to hold for a vertical device. And the screen is angled towards your face. Like this is always going to stay in a stationary position. Where with the SP, it is always angled at the proper angle facing you. So yeah, this is just absolute genius design. When it's opened up, it's nice and comfortable. And when it's closed up, when you're not using it, it's nice and pocket friendly, and it protects the important parts of the handheld, where something like this is always exposed. Now, I know there's going to be some people that are going to be concerned with this hinge because it does add a point of failure, right? This is a one-piece kind of slab design, so there's nowhere where this can just break, right? Where something like this, this is definitely a point of failure. So we're gonna have to see how they hold up. What Anbernic is telling us is that these are alloy hinges. So an alloy is a metal composed of two or more metals. We do have metal hinges in here. So, I mean, you can expect them to last. And this closes up so nicely. You feel how this kind of just slowly opens and it snaps that one position over here. You can push it back a little bit. Look at that. And it holds that position, holds this position. And then just beyond that, you have a little bit more over here. And then this just glides down. And then right over here, we do have magnets on the inside, on the top here and here. You push this down just like that. It just feels so good to open this. Feels just like the older SP. What I will say is that this SP is definitely a little bit larger than the older SP. So we do have a little bit more room, and that is great for somebody like myself that has a little bit larger hands. You know, on a vertical device, sometimes you get this where it's a little bit tight and your hands are kind of coupled together, right? See on the back, you kind of put your hands together. That's how you use the device. On the SP, not so much, because you do have a little bit more space, a little bit more width, so you can change the grip you have here. Like my hands have a little bit more space apart than something like this. Now, Anbernic hasn't given us their traditional controls here. So obviously with a clamshell, we do have to make some compromises in controls. So as you can see here, the controls are recessed. So there's like this indent over here and they're pushed down. And the buttons themselves are not membrane, which is something new for Anbernic. We haven't seen tactile buttons from Anbernic. So this is a first for them. But yeah, they don't feel too bad. They do make an audible sound, as they are a bit clicky. Here, have a look at the D-pad and how it sounds. Now the start and select button. These are probably the loudest buttons. And the menu button. So yeah, definitely a first for Anbernic. I would say they remind me most of the TrimUI Smart and its controls. But obviously the D-pad is much larger and very comfy. I really like the D-pad here. And then our action buttons, of course, Anbernic goes with the Nintendo style layout, which I absolutely love. And yeah, so everything here I like. So yeah, let's get this thing turned on. Now, when we open this up, we are greeted with a beautiful 3.5-inch display, 640 by 480. Basically the same display we've come to expect from Anbernic. And I've just got a game up here so you guys can have a good look at how this looks. Just a screen area. As you can see, the bezel is black over here and the screen is recessed. So that's even better for the protection of the screen. And also one issue that some Anbernic devices have. So for example, here on my H, the screen is not glued all the way down sometimes, like as you can see here. Sometimes the screen is a little bit jittery. It's not a flaw you will see with the SP. Because the screen is essentially behind the shell, this is not an issue you will see with the SP, which is super awesome. And we also have these nice little soft rubber pads that do help to dampen when the screen is closing. It's not just slammed shut, it has somewhere to cushion on, so that's really nice to see as well. So yeah, one amazing thing about a clamshell is sleep. So like, let's say I'm in this game, I have to go, you know, I could just close the lid and now it's in sleep mode. Then when I'm ready to play again, boom, just flip it open, you're right back in the game. Alternatively, we have Anbernic software. So we have things like quick shutdown. Just press the button once. Check this out. And just like that, the light has been turned off and it's safely shut down. Now you can close this, go about your business. When you're ready to play again, turn it back on. And you're right back where you last were. So yeah, just amazing features of this device right out of the box. Just so much good stuff. Here I'm playing some Advance Wars for the Game Boy Advance, and check out this beautiful bezel they've added to this. So this corrects the aspect ratio because this is a 4:3 screen. So they basically moved the 3:2 Game Boy screen up and they've just added this nice little label here. And look how great this just looks. I just love how true to design Anbernic has stayed to the original SP with this device. But yeah, I know you guys aren't here to see that, so let's just close out here. So I know Anbernic has given us 4 color options. We have a DMG gray, we have this nice silver, we have 2 transparent, we have a blue transparent, and a black transparent. Now, all the color options are great. I was really torn between getting the silver and getting the transparent blue, but I do have a bias towards solid colors, and that is why I went with the silver. Like, I don't always like to see the insides of my device. I don't always want to see the battery. I don't want to see the little magnets here. For me, it's more magic when I just kind of close it up and it snaps shut and it's like, oh, what just happened? Even though I know there's magnets there, I can't see them. So for me, this is more enjoyable, and that's why I went with the silver. Now for the DMG, I did originally really like the DMG. The only thing that held me back from getting the DMG was the kind of beige bezel. I feel like it just made the bezel look really wide. Now some people are not going to care about that, but it's something that did bother me, and I wish they went with a black bezel, kind of like they did on this silver model. If not, that would have been probably my first pick. Look at how the silver kind of shines next to the gray buttons. It just looks really good and super clean. But yeah, on the software side, we have basically the same things we've come to expect. We do have a different kind of icon tile for the main game rooms, which has all your standalone emulators in here. Standard stuff from Anbernic, but that's not really that important. What we really care about is RA game, which is where you'll find all your higher end emulators, stuff like PSP, Dreamcast, Nintendo DS, N64, ports, and Naomi. So basically the best of the best stuff you can play on this device, you're gonna find in RA game. Now, as far as the games list is concerned, in typical Anbernic fashion, we do not have any Mario games. So sorry guys, no Mario. And it's basically the exact same games list you're gonna find in the Plus or the H, the exact same games you will find on the SP. I want to show you guys how this thing performs. As we know, this thing's rocking the H700, the same chip inside the Plus and the H. So we know how this thing's gonna run, but let's see it run in this beautiful form factor. Okay, so I wanted to start off with a little bit of Game Boy Advance, obviously, because it's made to play Game Boy Advance. Just looks how great this looks. This is Minish Cap for the Game Boy Advance.
This game is really amazing. If you've never played this game, definitely give it a chance. A certified classic. This is Sapphire. Not everybody's favorite, but here we went with the odd starter. We got Trico. I don't know how many people pick Trico. I usually go Torchic or Mudkip, but yeah, I don't think I've ever had a Sceptile. I don't know if that's blasphemy, but yo, shout out all my Pokemon fans. What kind of video would this be without a Pokemon? Here we have some Tekken 3 for the PS1. Just showing some of the 3D games on this thing. Looks just so crazy in this form factor. This is a weird one. This is like Dreamcast, some Gauntlet. Not a game I'd probably typically play, but I wanted to show off something a little bit different than the usual stuff. In my last videos, I did way too many fighting games, so here we got Darkwing Duck for the NES. Super cool game. Shout out Aiden Walls. I think this is his favorite game. Here we wanted to show off a little bit of N64 Wave Race Certified Classic. You guys know what it is. It is running exceptionally well. I wasn't thinking the N64 would run too well on this thing, but it's running well, really well. Maybe not every game, but the games I've tried, running really well. Now, of course, I had to put another one in here, another Game Boy Advance game. I think, but Wario Land 4. It's a great time.
In a sea of all these different options for handhelds you can have these days, the SP really stands out because it holds a very unique, very good form factor. A form factor that not only protects itself but also folds into a very pocket friendly travel companion device. And before the SP, I wasn't really sure which handheld I really wanted to main. I tried the 353M and it just, I don't know, something about it wasn't me. And now that I have the SP in my hands, I can tell you this is going to be the device I will be maining for the foreseeable future, because it's just this amazing, even without custom firmware, as it is right out the box with Anbernic software. I really like it. So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for me and our first look at the SP. I'm gonna spend a lot of time with this device in the upcoming weeks and really give you guys a proper review. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you already have an SP, are you enjoying it? What color did you pick? What don't you like about it? What do you like about it? Let me know in the comment section below. But yeah guys, I think this handheld has very high potential to be handheld of the year. I'm calling it now, handheld of the year. That RG35XX SP. You heard it here first. But yeah guys, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.